Right, so let's go ahead and set up the textures on our hunter. Okay, so I've just got him visualized there. Let's jump into our matte context. Again, we'll start with the hunter body. So this time, we don't have any. We're not using view dims for the hunter, so we don't need to worry about that. So let's drop a texture node and grab our hunter body texture. Okay, so I've come into the location, find where you've got all your hunter textures, so body diffuse, and then just connect that up to the diffuse color. And again, just like the crocodile, the scatter coefficient. Okay, so we've got some color for the subsurface. We've also got a specular map, I believe, for this. So body specular, there we go. So we can use that for the reflection weight. Okay, and then we've also got a normal map that we can use as a bump. So body normal. And then we'll grab bump map, texture, connect that up. Okay, I'm going to drop this down to 0.025 and connect that up to our bump. And one more map we need to connect up here. So he has, if we zoom in, eyelashes, as you can see here, and it's just kind of one grid. It's a few polygons, and obviously that's not what our eyelashes look like. So we've got an alpha map that we can apply to that, and we're going to do that with this sprite. Okay, so we just drop that in there and find the opacity map. So body opacity, you can see there's just a small part in the middle, which is the eyelashes. Okay, and just drop that in there, and there's nothing else you need to do with that. So head back. So let's continue with the bottoms. Go back into our normal camera. Before we do that, actually, we need to, I wanted to just look at the reflection, the roughness of the reflections, right? Obviously we need a little bit of roughness, 0.7, and we need to add the actual scale for the subsurface. Okay, which I'm going to do at 1.5. Now let's head back into the hunter bottoms. Okay, and again find a texture map here. Okay, so let me grab, so we're in bottoms now, right? Yep, so find the bottoms diffuse. There we go, connect that up. And then just like before, we got the specular map, bottom specular, that goes into reflection weight, and also grab the normal map, bottom's normal. We're going to use this for the bump and a height map as well, displacement map, which is the same thing. Okay, plug that into the inputs there. So going into the inputs, yeah, and then into the bump input. Perfect. And leave the height as it is, and then I want a height map as well. So or is it displacement? I don't remember. I think it's displacement, yeah. Put that in there, and the out into the displacement. Great. Okay, and I keep forgetting to look at the roughness and so forth. So the roughness here, I'm going to set also to 0.7. Diffuse, reflection, roughness to 0.7. Great, so let's continue with the top. Open this out. So I'm going to grab a redshift texture, find the top diffuse, there it is, get that in, and same for the specular again. Top specular, where are you? Yeah. Okay, that goes into the reflection weight. So again, a bit repetitive, but there we are. That's what we have to do. Top, the normal for the top. Grab that. The bump map. So texture goes into the, not the scale, the inputs, and then the out into the bump input. And again, I'm going to make a displacement with this as well. Oh, not displacement, blender. Redshift displacements. Connect that up there, and the out into the displacement. Okay. Great. And the bump map I'm going to drop to 0.05. Okay, so let's continue. What's next? We got the bottoms, tops, shoes. So let's check out the shoes. The texture map. I'm gonna grab my diffuse for the shoes. Shoe diffuse, there we go. Connect that up to the diffuse color. And the, oops. Grab the specular. Shoe specular, there we go. So that will go, where is it? Reflection weight. Great. And again, the normal map. And then the bump map. This goes into our bump inputs there. That'll do for the shoes. And we'll just bring down the scale there a bit, 0.1. Cool. And last but not least, the gun. Okay, so I almost forgot. We need to check out the roughness on this as well. Let's see. I'm going to set this to the reflection roughness to 0.7. Let me check I didn't forget on the top as well. I did. I set that to 0.5. Cool. Okay, and then back to the gun. Okay, so the gun be very similar. So let's grab the texture for the diffuse color, which I think is in a different place actually. Go back, got weapons here, there we go. So we got the material, which it looks like the diffuse, yeah. So connect that up. And then we've got the reflection weight, so that would be the specular. Or the metallic, actually, we're going to use there. Let's see, where are you? Metallic. Cool. And then we've also got a roughness map. Alt click and drag, connect that up to the reflection roughness. Find it. Roughness. There, great. And a bump map. Use a normal for that. Redshift bump map, connect that up. Drop the height to 0.1 and then connect that up to the bump input. Okay, that was a lot of work, but I think that should be as done for the hunter. So let's see if that works. Just a couple of things I want to change before we actually check the render. So the top, I want to change the roughness to 0.7, and I think we didn't touch the bump. No, that's okay. Yeah, so the top, the bump to 0.05, that's fine, and then the bottom as well. This I want to change, yeah, the bottoms, the bump on the bottom to 0.05. Okay, and then also, just like the crocodile, we need to remember to go to the tessellation and displacement, turn both of these on. I'm going to turn off this smooth subdivision because we had some weird problems with the geometry, and this seemed to work. You know, I had some kind of spikes sticking out. Maybe I'll leave it on and maybe we'll see it. And then the displacement scale, I'm going to bring it down here. We haven't touched any in the materials, so we're just going to do them all uniformly here. Set that to 0.02. Okay, so that should be it. Let's hit IPR and see if we get a nice render from this. There we go, so that seems to be working. Yeah, as you can see the spikes at the back here, if I just turn off smooth subdivision, and you can see that kind of disappears. What I want to do as well is just turn this off, maybe go to a later frame, I don't know, something like this. And let me get a bit sooner about there maybe, and see if that works, you know, after the simulation has started. And there we go, that looks fine. Great.